Oh yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Blaze 90.7. Today is the 28th of January AD 2025. Good morning and welcome to yet another fascinating edition of the program Wake Up Call right here on Blaze Radio 90.7. It is a pleasure of mine to welcome you as we go along with the program this morning. Good morning, Nimba, Rewaji, Grandjila Lofa. Good morning, Grandbasa Kip Mount Bommy. Good morning, Bapodu. Sino Rewa says. Good morning, Grand Crew. Good morning to the people of Liberia. How you all doing this wonderful morning? It's good having you listen to the program Wake Up Call. This is the program that serves you breakfast in bed. Will bring you happiness across Mama Liberia. Will bring you happiness on issues that confront the country, the society, and every well-meaning Liberians. Good morning, this wonderful, wonderful morning. This edition of Wake Up Call promises to be superb in heaven. I will be here with our panelists. Alimé Michael Talk. Together, we're going to present the show. And we will also be expecting at any time the CEO and Mr. Lawrence Nyayene, one of our newest panelists, to also join the show. But we are here this morning. And what are we going to be focusing on this morning? We're going to heavily look at the SONA, the State of the Nation's address, making emphasis on a few cardinal points made by the president, with a specific emphasis on the absence of the judiciary branch at the SONA this morning on the show. So good morning, welcome. I invite everyone to listen along as we go through the program this morning. My name is Archie Sebab Yene. And keep glued as we inform to you. Oh yes, indeed, indeed. This is the song instrumental that introduces and ends this program Wake Up Call. Good morning, welcome to it. As you invite someone to listen along with the time, 2 minutes past 4 a.m. this morning, on the show here this morning. So Wake Up Call comes your airwave every Mondays to Fridays, and to our listeners, we sincerely apologize that we could not bring you the show yesterday due to some technical reason and other things. We could not bring you the show, but however, we are here today, and our reason being here is to serve you, members of the public, is to bring you the information you deserve. The reason we are here this morning is to make sure that we give you information that you always love to hear. So Blaze Radio 90.7 is your station, and the program is Wake Up Call. I'm your presenter, Achise Bob Yende. So the game of last week, we discussed some cardinal issues, some critical issues across the country. We discussed issues that worth listening to. Last week we discussed some of those NDR partisans who were expelled from their respective positions, some from the NSA, some from Labor, for their critical stance and tribute paid at the 40 Nima County Senator Prince Yomi Johnson. We discussed that last week. The entire last week we discussed about uh, Senator Johnson's death. The entire last week we discussed about issues confronting Liberians, and we discussed so many things on the last week edition of this program. And today, like I said earlier, we will be looking at uh, President Joseph Human Boaka's second State of the Nation's address. And the State of the Nation's address, the president lamented hugely on issues of national concern, outlining the achievements of the government. He outlined it several things in the SONA, and we will bring you reasons for which the Supreme Court bench did not attend this SONA. The SONA was held. The SONA was held yesterday, but there was the absence of the Supreme Court. So we will be looking at that this morning. So all we want you to do is to keep glued by your radio as we bring you this information. So we want to take this break. Let's take this break. When we come back, but then our panelists will be here, and we will be discussing what we are here for. But I think this action was at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex. It was between security of the Liberian National Police and BBC correspondent Mose Gazeo. You know, at the National County Sports Meet, there are a lot of things that were happening and continue to happen. But let's bring you this from the state security and the BBC correspondent, Drummond, at the National County Sports Meet. Okay. And we take the break to be right back.
You know we believe. So was a guy who has been attacked by this police officer? This police officer just attacked BBC journalist Mose Kasewu. This police officer just attacked. This is the police officer. He has attacked Mose Kasewu for the BBC. This is the BBC journalist being attacked. This is the BBC journalist being attacked by this police officer. Mose Kasewu is being attacked by this police officer. This is Mose Kasewu. He's been attacked. Mose Kasewu has been attacked. This police officer has attacked Mose Kasewu from the BBC. This is him. See how he's holding. See how the BBC journalist is being handled here by the Liberian National Police. This is how he's being handled by the Liberian National Police. He works for the BBC and he's been mad handled by the Liberian National Police. So why you know that happening?
So those are side attractions of the National County Sports Meet. There are a lot of things that are going on in this country, but I get you this teaser. We await the arrival on this. We want to begin this show together today because there is a lot we have to talk about. We don't want to go in the middle of time where we'll be caught up with time. We want to discuss together where we will be highlighting these issues point by point in the SONA. There are key issues the president spoke about. The president talked about security, and in his concluding statement, he also mentioned about legislation that have been passed. We will talk about that as well. Yes, he talked about legislation that are passed by the legislature on please, we have not started accepting calls. We have not started accepting calls, please. Today the show is just one way, and afterward you go to call and make your point. So let's take another break right here with this teaser. Let's take another break with this teaser.
The poor Nimakane, the tradition poor Nimakane know that you don't do tradition if on a camera on Facebook. No! Oh, you think nobody can join one casket too? Nothing beyond nothing, but they play politics with Senator Johnson Bali. Right now we see people from Senator Johnson party, they sack them because they gave tribute. Hey, Jeremiah. That is to show you people that they care Senator Johnson. The men are rest on the ground good though. In less than 1 week, they not sacked to a party executive. Senator Johnson told me, say, from the day Jeremiah told me, say, I'm going to join Unity Party, and I told him not to do it. That thing broke me down. Yeah, they killed Prince Johnson. They killed him. They frustrated him until he died. I'll be to the SONA tomorrow. To the SONA. Koliba. The SONA. They said they'll be checking car. Lord, me not going with security. You don't waste your time. I wear my African suit. I put my paper in my hand. I'll be fanning myself in the heat. And walk to go over there. The poor Nimakane, the tradition poor Nimakane know that you don't do tradition if on a camera on Facebook. No! The poor Nimakane, the tradition poor Nimakane know that you don't do tradition if on a camera on Facebook. No! Oh, you think nobody can join one casket too? Nothing beyond nothing, but they play politics with Senator Johnson Bali. Right now we see people from Senator Johnson party, they sack them because they gave tribute. Hey, Jeremiah. That is to show you people that they care Senator Johnson. The men are rest on the ground good though. In less than 1 week, they not sacked to a party executive. Senator Johnson told me, say, from the day Jeremiah told me, say, I'm going to join Unity Party, and I told him not to do it. That thing broke me down.
So that's most Rado County top talking and most controversial representative. So folks, welcome back to the show. If you just tuning in, I'd like to say welcome. This is Wake Up Call on Blaze Radio 90.7. So there are a few things I'm going to be looking at before the panelists join. Uh, Yesterday, the Rule of Law Caucus, uh, were not part of the SONA. Though Yeke promised that he's going to be there, but we didn't see him. And yesterday, so they from the newspaper headlines here, the New Republic. So like I said, uh, Rule of Law Caucus boycott SONA. So Representative Coons authority question. Kofa rejects SONA. So these are things we're going to be looking at this morning. Uh, Kofa was not part of the SONA. The Rule of Law Caucus headed by Musa Bediti. Musa Bediti wrote a piece here. Let me see how I can bring that piece before we begin. He wrote a piece here. He wrote a piece right here. And on that piece, he stated a reason for which they were not present at the SONA. So the Rule of Law Caucus were absent. The Supreme Court bench was also absent from that SONA. So these things gonna be our major talking point for today on the show. Maybe tomorrow again we'll bring you another portion of the SONA, but there are a lot that were said in the SONA. But because of the limited time we also have on the show, uh, if we decide to discuss everything President Bwaga said yesterday, we will sleep here. So let me welcome Michael, who is already here. Today, Michael not going to be here. The CEO will not be here. So, Michael, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chief. It's a pleasure being here this morning.
Okay.
Good morning to those following Radio Land. Yeah, I just woke up from bed, so I so it's a good thing this morning to follow up, and especially discussing the State of the Nation address of the President. The State of the Nation address. Like many of you out there may have heard the word SONA, State of the Nation. In essence, it is saying what has been going on in Liberia for the last 1 year. The president, being the president of the country, is required by law to explain publicly to the first branch of government, including other branches in attendance with international partners, what are some of the changes that may have happened in the course of a particular year on review. So 2024 on review, the president he came up yesterday and spoke to uh, not just the legislature but the entire country about what is unfolding in the country. Besides the analysis we will give as uh, should I start now? Or?
Yeah, we can start. We can start. Yeah, just continue.
Yeah, so besides the analysis we will give as as a as panelists here, besides what we will say based on our own opinion, it is important to note that you as a citizen have your own understanding of what is unfolding in your community. When the president, for example, said that rice price has gone down, rice price has decreased, rice price is no longer the same, you know the price of rice, what it was last year or year before last, and what it became last year. The president may say, "Oh, the rate has dropped." When did the president meet the rate? Maybe the president they met the rate around 186. Where is the rate today? The rate is around in some communities. The rate is up to 199, 197.
To some
But
places, 200, 200,
it's
200.
200. But according to the president's speech, the rate now dropped. So there are a lot of theoretical things that is said there. There are a lot of things, the thing about the sonar is about painting the country fine. In
Yeah.
most instances, it's about a politician trying to justify, his position that he's doing well.
Okay. So
That's
let's
the
let's
thing.
welcome let's welcome our new part of this on the show, and we'll just begin from there. So, Mr. Lawrence Yan Yene is one of our panelists. He's here. So let's say welcome, Chief.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, yeah, we are getting you.
Thank you very much, Bro Archie. Thank you.
Okay. So it is your first time on the show, and it's good having you here. So Michael and Mr. Yene, like we said on the Sona discussion, I want us to look at that point by point. And our first point of focus, uh, I want to be the absence of the rule of law caucus, followed by the absence of the judiciary branch. Before we come to the president message this morning. So first of all, we will begin with Mr. Yene. He just coming, so we'll give him the time to talk about the absence of the rule of law caucus of Musa Hassan Berete and his men. So Yege Koduba, Musa Berete, Frank Foko, and the rest of the guys from the minority bloc were absent yesterday, including the Imbato speaker for Nanti Kofa. They were absent yesterday from the Sona.
Yeah, let's say the minority black or
Mhm,
ma-
yeah.
yeah, most of them, yeah, they were asking, including the judiciary branch, we would say, because none of the justices was present, including the chief justice herself. Um, the law does not call for any punishment on them; it is their right. But it's just that they have disagreement with the president. But it's alarming to the country, especially as it relates to the judicial branch. The judicial branch is the branch that holding the law and order of the country. This is the branch responsible to interpret the law. So that simply means that they are dissatisfied with the president's policy. It's clearly. So actually, we got to work on that. The executive has to work on that. The president talk of the rule of law, I mean, press freedom and other things. So what do you make of that? Actually, it's alarming. Yeah.
and and should I don't know the public. There have been mixed views of the public since the president state of the nation address about that issue. Some attributing that to the issue at the Capitol Building on grounds that the Supreme Court uh does not want to recognize the speakership of Rachel Cohn. Should we hold that constant?
Oh yes, the thing is clear. It's clear that the saga at the legislature, especially the House of Representatives.
Mhm.
This is case that the Supreme Court has decided on before, in the absence of this president. At the time, President Boaga was not president. It happened in a case of Aze Yenemo when he was Senate Pro Tem. Same case went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court told them, go back and do the right thing. It's clear that the Constitution has been violated by the majority black, and the executive has come out to recognize these guys. So that alone tells you that the executive or the president has no regard for the Supreme Court. It's clear. So no need to even go to listen to his address when he has no regard for the branch that every one of them operate equally.
Okay. All right. So let's hear from Michael. Michael,
Yeah,
this is the issue. This is the issue. I saw alarming that you have certain fraction of the lawmakers who have gone to represent their people are absent, and overall the judiciary branch being absent from the State of the Nation's address.
yeah. So it is important to note that there were senators also that boycotted the Sona yesterday. We had a lot of senators, Weston Garfinley, Senator McGill, a lot of who's we had five, six different senators who didn't show up because of the same violation, gross violation of the rule of law in the country. So we have former presidents who didn't show up as well
Mhm.
because they didn't want to endorse uh, the deliberate undermining of the Constitution of the Republic that is being done by this current administration. Former President Salif, as I heard, did not come. I
Sure,
followed
sure.
up, yeah, uh, President Weah as well. They didn't go there, and for him, it was stated that he didn't want to endorse an illegitimate argument or an illegitimate proposition that directly undermines the Constitution. So it was not just the rule of law caucus that comprises over 20 lawmakers that were absent. We had key actors that were absent, including the full bench of the Supreme Court, which people will want to sugarcoat this thing. People will want to paint it any way they want to paint it. But if everything was okay, if if the ruling of the Supreme Court was not undermined by the current administration, but now you will not be having a national program of such nature, you having the Supreme Court boycotting the process. Eh, if you are saying you promote the rule of law, which is one of the major components, every state we find ourselves in, the rule of law is the core of the state. It is the life in the state. It is what grants legitimacy of a state. Without honoring the rule of law, everything will be held to scatter. Man, like according to some philosophies, man is wild. He can only be restrained by laws. So democracy, in essence, for things to be properly done, it has to be based on the backbone of the rule of law. If the rule of law is being undermined and the politicians are saying it, you say, oh, these people are saying it because they are politicians, they are opposition people, but your own Supreme Court under your regime, they are protesting and saying we don't have to. I listen to other people try to justify, oh, because there is
Yeah,
an ongoing case, oh,
yeah.
because there is this.
Like uh, the rule of law, the majority block chairman on who is this? Collet, Representative Collet. You listen to his argument when we right after the Sona we interviewed him while asking him some questions why the Supreme Court was not present. He said that was an issue. So the Supreme Court choose to come because they had no and choose not to come as well because they have no impact to make for on grounds that when they come they will not say anything. They don't have any input to make, rather to just watch the process because it is between the president and the legislature.
So that's a very poor argument. That's a poor argument. And sorry, Mr. Yene, good morning and welcome. Sorry, it was an oversight, I think. Yeah. So I it is important. The justification that the chief justice and his justices didn't come because they never had anything. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The U.S. ambassador doesn't have anything to do there. The former presidents do not have anything to do there. Most of the other dignitaries that they do invite, like international partners and all the other people, they do not have any role to play there. But it's protocol, the
Hmm.
legitimacy of that body, it becomes the body becomes the convergence of that body becomes legitimate when all these dignitaries are there, dignitaries with people that are heading major. So somebody is saying the judiciary branch was not present, and it does not mean anything because the country has three branches of government. And this is a major program in the country. Over the years, anytime the SONA is being held, we have the judiciary represented. Then a one lawmaker sitting somewhere, that guy, I know James Colette, whatever they call him, I mean, that dude has always been like that. So I don't want to, but I see the problem. These guys, they fear nothing. You see, you can be a lawmaker, then you deliberately. The other guy they call 40 formula as well. And I think that these are the guys from Bone County that are just they are just in the midst of these things and trying to just hijack the law, misinterpret the law. I don't know who gave them the right to be doing all these things. The other guy was on Spoon again last night, and saying all sort of things. You can't be a lawmaker and you be misinterpreting things that the people supposed to know. The Supreme Court is saying something. You say, "Oh, the Supreme Court is supposed to be there." The other man last time was saying, "Oh, you got to see." He said because when the chip when Base went to Nima, he gave singular already. He said the Supreme Court will not come because otherwise he think, why did this thing happen in the first place? Why are we in this
That's the
controversy
biggest
if you were
question,
proceeding
right?
rightly?
Why would a
If you were
Supreme Court,
proceeding,
a whole Supreme Court, abandon state of the nation?
why,
It's a
why would it
landmark.
be happening in the first place?
It's
So
a
it says
landmark.
a lot about us. It says a lot about ourselves. The Supreme Court, the entire justice
I
system.
don't know.
The
I don't know.
Supreme
I
Court
want to
bench
reason.
represents the judiciary of the country. The country has three branches of government. Liberia, we have three branches of government. The judiciary is represented by the Supreme Court entire bench at the SONA in most cases. Who else come from there? The Supreme Court bench is the primary representation of the judiciary at the SONA. The scene where the president represents the executive and the speaker, the legitimate speaker, represents the legislature. That's how it is. The legitimate speaker, with the other people, where you have the pro tem and other people from the Senate. So you can say, oh, the other people they ain't come because they do not have anything to do that. That's one of the weakest arguments of the century. And a lawmaker, I mean, so becoming a lawmaker in the country, so long you can fool around with few dollars, lot of the people that you do something better and come and hustle on them. And mind you, the issue of the country, and it will always be a major problem, is that most people who are they opportune in most cases are the crooks. They are the ones who,
So,
in most
so
instances, are opportune.
Michael, before we just continue, many people will be saying and understanding the issue of the Supreme Court, interpreting that in their own way. But in my mind, I want to believe it's because the Supreme Court does not want to recognize any the illegal speakership of Rachel Kuhn. That's why they refuse to attend.
So the
If you, if
problem,
you if you go back to the issue of snow, if you go back to the issue of snow, you can remember that. But
yeah,
that particular
2007,
year,
2007,
2007,
2008. Yeah.
yeah, still have a nation's address. The Supreme Court did not attend as well because when
Yes.
yeah,
So
because when
the interpretation here for me, the interpretation of why the Supreme Court did not attend is not just it's not just about interpreting the Supreme Court not attending, but why should we stop the Supreme Court from attending in the first place? Because the actions should be interpreted differently. Somebody will say the Supreme Court won't come because of the. Why should we create a situation that the Supreme Court will not come different in the first place? Because I remember Charles Yate made a post on Facebook and Darrell Ambruma tried sugarcoating the thing, say, "Oh, the Chief Justice went to attend." There
In
is
fact,
no
the
meeting.
Supreme Court bench is not just made of the Chief Justice. There are other people there. So
You know,
beside the Chief
at the
Justice,
time they expected the justices to go. So he said, "Oh,
you want to
The
come in,
Chief
Mr. Yene?
Justice."
Yeah, actually, like what Michael was saying, the election in Liberia is just that kind of way, basing on sentiment, on who has the care, who can better lie to the people. That what brought people like Foley and even James Colette into power. You are lawmaker. Why will you break the law? The Supreme Court is the head of all the laws in that country. And that branch works equally as the executive. State of the Nation address is the summary of all what happened in the past year and what to happen in the coming year. So the president goes there to tell every branch, every citizen, everybody. You're telling the citizen through their lawmakers. And then the various branches, the judicial branch has to be present, including the legislative branch. So anybody can boycott. The law does not provide punishment for any of them. They are free. But what it implies, why they should be absent. This is what we should look at. Why? So the president actually is operating in error because he the one making all these guys to
Are
be
you doing the
boycott.
right thing and they are absent? That's the problem.
You see, why should Rachel Kun sit down calling himself a speaker when we have law and order? When we want law and order in that country,
You
why
see,
is not?
to the extent that the guy was hearing, making some procedure error. If our president tried to pinch him, somebody said, "No, I don't want presiding. I don't want."
You see,
He said, "Give me child, I don't want presiding." and
Nigeria,
and and to be real, Michael, to be real, uh, the State of the Nations address that was held outside of the joint chambers of the legislature because it was got a fire. There was a lot of things that happened yesterday. It will start to just say, all people will say, "Oh, for Yamba, when you go only the bad news you had to bring." Look, the Senate agitated for over 15 minutes. Why their seat, there were other people sitting and there were no seat. They argue. The Senate stood up for over 15 minutes just because they never had seat to sit. Just imagine the Senate that has in their own section because that was a joint session. India, like, oh my God, you bring your screen to your house. You said no, everybody, so your screen can't influence take your seat. Then when you can't, you agitate it for your own seat. So it was so frustrating yesterday to have seen things happening on the contrary. These are things that have not happened over years. You understand? These are things that not happened over years.
So the same thing that happened the first during the inaugural address,
Mhm.
it was repeated yesterday. During the inaugural address, there were a lot of things that went wrong, and there was a whole controversy. The president had to faint that day and all. The same thing happened yesterday. The simple preparation we saw on the inaugural address, the simple preparation a year later, you can start judging the people from that small space. 1 year ago, you made a mistake, the
Made a
president
mistake.
fainted, they begin a news all over the place. You get a whole year to prepare. You prepare, the lawmakers came. You didn't even prepare seat for senators. Even some representatives were even offended that they got to be sitting there among the people.
Oh yes.
yeah,
1 year later, you have not changed anything. Just in that space, they received thousands of dollars for that preparation. Thousands of dollars. That whole preparation is close to almost 500,000 or more than that.
I don't
But
know if
the preparation is still very, 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 very poor. Then now the whole country you talking about, you say they not do something. The boy, most of the let me tell you, when you enter the speech, most of the things that are listed in the speech are things that started 2, 3 years ago. Most of the things, 80 to
That's
70
why
to
we
80%
that's why
of
we
the
would
things
need
the
to
president
checkmate.
listed claiming to be a project, that things are started
That's why we would
way
need to
on a
checkmate the
just,
speech.
yeah, on a you say on a different organizations.
That's why we need to checkmate the speech word for word and letting the people
So
know what the president said yesterday. Because some of them just listen to the radio, they just follow the TV, because they want to observe how the process will be like, and they are not actually getting the understanding of what the message is actually is.
yeah, so our first point here, where we keep arguing, the issue of the interpretation of what the people boycotted is not our problem. Our problem is that why did you create an
Why should
environment
they?
that people boycott
Why
in the
should that
first
avenue?
place?
Yes.
If you
Why
were
should
doing
that
the right
avenue?
thing, were the people going to boycott? That's our
No.
argument first. Did
if
he agree that you do the right thing?
if there could be B to that question, it could be what is the way forward? What next? What
So
will happen now?
assuming tomorrow is a state of a nation address again, they will still be absent. So what
Yeah.
next? Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know.
there are a lot. There are a lot because Michael, this is just the first step. Mr. Yene as well. This is just the first step because if the Supreme Court start to boycott sooner, somebody will argue on if I could was saying, but then let them boycott. They should not accept salaries because the budget was passed by this speaker. Should that be an excuse? Should that be argument? Because somebody boycott and don't want to, because if the Supreme Court would have uh recognized that sooner and attend, it would have been again the opposite of what we're discussing here. It would have been the opposite. You have the Supreme Court that rules, and its ruling was grossly violated. It was misinterpreted by the minister of
Justice.
justice.
Yeah.
It was misinterpreted. So that alone brought uh, uh, that alone created a scene and left the public in dilemma. So now Colette was attributing the Supreme Court's ruling to be in their favor. So when I asked him the question, he was kind of a dangling asking, so you said the Supreme Court recognized the legitimacy of this body. Then why did the Supreme Court outline, in fact, underscored this phrase, ultra-virus? So who were they speaking to? So because the Supreme Court said this, the attitude of you lawmakers here were ultra-virus, that's why they don't want to recognize the legitimacy of this speaker and sit under his gavel. It would have spoken volume.
But actually, in the first place, the ultravirus, when you define that ultravirus, compare it to the two blacks, the majority and the minority. Which one of them have carried on such act? That's the majority. Now the majority, black has left a seated speaker and go ahead to have hired new speaker. So they the one have violated. So that wall has been used for them to
Yeah,
look
but
at
they
it
want
as
made it
a
like
mistake.
they want made it like brand people to look like, oh, the Supreme Court put it in their interest.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, the
and,
Supreme
and
Court made it, yeah, they won the case.
And another thing you talk about that they were saying about the salary of those justices.
Yeah, send the boycott,
Yeah,
them also
yeah,
boycott.
yeah. They were talking, and another thing they were saying about it again is their impeachment. That's what they were
Mm.
saying again. Maybe they want to go ahead to do some of their deeds, some of the illegal thing they did that they have Rachel Kun as speaker. Maybe they thinking of doing so.
But if they're even thinking of doing that, I don't see that because it's not possible. You impinge the five bench, the five person on that bench just once. They will just be bringing themselves to public disrepute, and they'll continue to create avenue where Liberians will know that this country, everybody in the country are not serious. That's how they'll be thinking it. They will be taking the country always. Why should we be creating avenue of confusion every day, creating news every day? Do you know what it entails? You have other dignitaries that attended that event, and And in fact, just the absence of the bench, the Supreme Court bench, covers the entire message of the president so now. If you see on social media, you're not seeing anybody defending what the president said. Everybody focus now is being drawn to why
Yeah.
the Supreme Court
Mm.
bench was absent.
Yeah.
But Michael, you know now it is Supreme Court was present, but now the men will be all on Facebook. Yeah, the president said this, the president said this. But have you seen that? Everybody' attention is now being defending why the Supreme Court was not there, why what impact it has. People now defending that. And it's so sad.
So even when they come with most of the points that the president said gas price is lower, the gas price are lower and the transportation stay the same. Let me tell you, the quality of gas that is even lower in the country is why you should be looking at in the first place. And whether the gas price is really affecting the transportation price,
No way.
whether the rice price that they say it is low, whether it's actually low as compared to the people that are in when it came in power, the rice price, the other things you're talking about, the other commodities you're talking about, how you've done. So people are calling things, stating things, and they are saying it. So most of the things, yeah, you say they will want to come up, or most of the things they will want to bring out in the public. I was like following through the sonar, and I came to something. I think something around media. You talk about
Mm-hmm.
press freedom.
Yeah.
Press freedom.
Yeah.
They have endorsed press freedom massively. They
Yeah.
talk about some of the development of press freedom, how the Liberia Broadcasting System has a new studio.
Yeah.
Are you
They,
kidding me?
they are investing millions of dollars there.
There's no new studio in
Every
Liberia.
public.
That studio got done with the on Estella Lewate.
But bro, Marco, this is what
So,
I
so,
want us to
so
look
if
at.
anything, you let me just send you a summary of the Sonar version. Let me just forward it in our place there, and maybe the way long, you will not have the time to, let me just forward the summary there.
One for me, one thing there is every sonar just have to be sweet, especially with Liberian dealers. Like just last, they will go and bundle together and disseminate it to the public. So for this sonar, for me, I'm not focusing on whatever I've been said there. I know it will be lies, lies. It will be all lies. I know. But my main point now is why this sonar was boycotted by the Supreme Court. And also,
Yeah, so
more than,
that one
more,
of the main problem is that
yeah,
so the
more,
last they told too, we gotta check this one the last.
yeah, more than you have
Yeah.
more than 20 lawmakers boycotting. Okay, as for the lawmakers, they will say they are dissatisfied with the saga among them there. Okay, it's granted. Then what's about the whole Supreme Court? And what's the way forward? How will this whole of three branches, how will they move forward? Should we still maintain Rachel Kuhn illegally as speaker? What's the way forward?
So let me look at Michael. You talk about the press freedom, right? Are we there?
Yeah, we getting you.
You talk about the press freedom, right? So first of all, the president talk about the economy. Okay, so let's look at the economy. Let's highlight what
The
he
press,
says.
the press freedom was just for an example. You see some
Okay.
of the things, yeah. The
So
economy, yeah, talk.
let's look at the economy, for example. I want to display this on the screen. The president talk about the economy. So
We can
now,
still talk about it tomorrow. We'll still break it down, but we have brush over it.
yeah, he
Mm.
talk about the economy. He talk about the economy that uh so the president acknowledged the challenges in the state of our economy while highlighting interventions again made. We inherit, according to him, we inherit an economy in a steep decline. So the president said he took over a declined economy. Should we consider that as fact?
But
So one,
actually,
uh
from the time the president took over, what really have been the changes made over there? Now the same way Joria left our country. What are the changes? The rate is still 200 per
So,
dollar.
so the president said when he took over, the economic growth was slow as 4.6%. But now, while inflation was doubled at 10.1%, driven largely by raising food and fuel prices. So this was the reason for which food and fuel oil prices was increased, because the economy was slow in growth and was increased highly by inflation. 10.1%. That's why he's saying, Michael. Because for me, so I had to say, I had to ask these questions because perhaps you say, "Mama, you buy Jenny, it's all get a minute time. Let me talk the thing." So should we, when the president took over, what was the state of economy of WIA? How much did WIA left in leave in government's account before leaving?
So in most instances, when people start to call these numbers in economics, and you start to talk about the GDP, you start to talk about inflation, you start to talk about GNI, you talk about all these things. The common people in most instances do not understand
They
these
will not
things,
understand that. Yeah.
and they are left to wonder, what do these people mean? And most of those things are theory. So, the best interpretation of any economic sources by government is the reality on the ground.
Sorry, the
The
reality.
last time Spoon did an interview, they did an opinion poll in Red Light in Douala Market at Waterside. If you listen carefully to the things that the people who are in the center, we have a capitalist system, and and see how things are happening. The people that are there, the market forces, the people who are selling, who are interacting, people who are buying, what were they saying? Most of them all compare this first year, the president first year, we are first year. What do you make of it? How many? What did most of them say?
You have many people crying about the state of the economy.
So when somebody is saying, "Oh, we left inflation," no, they got something in economics. Like I said one other time, they call the lag variable. The past administration when we are came there because of the bad policies, inflation went to 31%. We have brought it from 31% to 7%. What was the practical thing in the life of the people? You have to explain what even inflation meant. Because inflation is the value for money. When you have $100 and inflation is at 30%, it means that the value for that $100 is only $70. When you have $100 and inflation is at 10%, it means the value, the worth of that $100 is $90. So the inflation defines the value of the money that you have, the worth. When we are came, so most of these things are theoretical things that people will not understand, but the practicality of these things, that's what the people are very interested in. When you come about, you are throwing numbers. Oh, we are doing well because okay, you made inflation at 10 point some more percent. Where is inflation now? When you look at the medium term projections from the previous years, there is nothing that has changed. You have not done anything extraordinary because from 2022, 2023 coming down, it was projected that by 2025, the Liberian GDP should be SYZ. Check the World Bank projections. So if you do not maintain what was there, you will drop. If they did anything extraordinary, we got to look at the World Bank projection. Look at the numbers on the World Bank projection for 2025 or 2024. Did they exceed the number that was projected that the economy will have been on by virtue of the macroeconomic fundamentals that we are left behind? Did they exceed the number? If they exceeded the number, then we can be having that conversation that, oh, they did something extraordinary, but nothing happened extraordinary as far as we know, because the common people in the country, they are still complaining. The common people in the country, they are still complaining. When you talk about it has to do with production, goods and services, all these ones. How many jobs have been produced in the country? When we're talking about the economy, how many jobs, how many new companies came in the country? What are some of the things in our various sector? How well is our mining sector regulated? The mining sector, most of the GDP we talk about today, it is mainly reflected from the mining sector because
And
the mining
the
sector is the
president,
place that we get most of the things out. How
the,
well is our mining sector regulated?
the president
What are
spoke
we
of
doing
the
with
president
the mining sector?
recognized the he spoke of the discovery of new minerals.
New minute, all those discovery the government has not done. I don't know whether the government has done any prospecting newly. Most of the discovery happened years ago. Some of those things they just included in the
Why,
speech. We can
why you
have
talk about
double
saying
down on that one. But the problem is, how well are we regulating the mining sector? Because most of the GDP days that happen is about the things that we are exporting. We are exporting minerals. We are exporting rubber. We are exporting iron ore. Those are the things that contribute to the growth, the production, the GDP, and everything of our country. How well are these things regulated? Yeah, AML, ArcelorMittal, for example, is in Nimba. The people are sleeping in continuum. The liberalization policy is not in effect.
oh
The
yes,
level of inequality is very high there. Foreigners are making 10 times more than the common people are making. The Liberians with the same expertise are making far lower than the people who are not even qualified as the Liberians. What they are making at ANL. How well are you regulating? Or what they only do best is that when the person in charge gets some kind of group envelope, then they leave the rest of it, then doing this kind of time, you can't read about the economy is flourishing, the economy is doing well. Has the transportation price dropped? Has the rest price actually dropped as the president claimed? Is the US rate down as the president claimed? Prices in
that's the
the
best
market,
question for the public.
in
That's
the
a very
market
best question for the
forces, are
public.
they interacting? Are they buying? Go ask the market people, are their businesses going like it used to go? Are they getting profits now like before? What are the job statistics? How many young people got job in the last 1 year? How many employment was done? The CSA came and said that, oh, they met the payroll at around 65,000. They brought it down to 60,000. Amen. Directly or indirectly, over 5,000 people lost their job. 5,000 people food was taken from the table. Up to now, the budget has not been posted on the Ministry of Finance
No,
website
always up to now, yes.
because we want to question the author. Because you can be reducing people on payroll, then the author of the year is far ahead of what you projected initially. Then you are confusing us. They asked the press secretary the last time, she said the president not editing the president's supposed to edit budget. The budget is a law. The law where it goes. So these people are uttering budget. It's a normal thing. They started the first budget
And
year, the
yeah,
second budget year, they are
yeah, but
continuing. So you can be discussing economy doing well with us when the real issues of the economy, when you can't tell us what well. The common people, they are the definition. You that are listening to the radio, besides those people who assume in their mind that something happening in actuality, it is not happening. We know some of the sycophants. Besides those people who are still caught up somewhere. The real thing, you now, the
oh
press of
yeah,
rest, the press of
you know it. You
Kashka,
can
the
pay.
press of
Mhm.
Kiasoli, are these things really done? How many young people, some of you who even supported the rescue mission, you even get job, you still crying around. You
Nothing.
that even supported, you're in the poo poo water.
Transportation still high. The
So
president also spoke of certain things.
mhm.
I know he spoke of reburying former President Tobo and former
Yeah, I
President
think yeah,
Joe.
that was at the concluding part of his statement.
I don't know how really it will be done. I don't really know. Whether, yeah, because I don't know whether they will go dig their cows and rebury or they will build something over their grave. I don't really know.
Take their pictures and put it in something.
The Yapo there, I think yeah, a monument
Images.
Because
images for
if it were monument, you would have said that, but I don't
A speech
know.
though, so he may not give all the details. But in most instances, because some of those people they don't even have grave. When you get to remains from because he doesn't even have grave. So
I
it'll
don't
be
know
basically
whether he said it. He said it because he had just buried Prince Johnson, so he said it to certify the other side. I don't know because maybe
It,
he might
it could,
see.
it could also be, but it could also be probably because over years, over years we have not had government talking about this. The
Yeah,
president took over. He delivered his first State of the Nation address. This wasn't mentioned.
it was
So
not
yeah,
meant.
because
the inaugural. We need to, but now to interrupt you, Achi. We need to look at the inaugural address and see some of the things that he said he would have done if they were even done.
okay,
Yeah, we need to read through the
yeah,
inaugural address
yeah, I think
because
yeah.
I
So
still hear I will. The president still saying I will. The last 1 year he said he was going to do some things in the course of the year on the year. What he will do the one you can't count in year two. Some of the things he said he was going to do last year, he's still on I will because most of the things that we will just critically look at our English. Yeah, fine tuning English and spinning it for the common people who not understand thing. Then yeah, post on job on there, some other things and nothing happening. Nothing really happening. It's just about oh we will do it. Then they put it in sooner.
it just hard. Like be real. So folks, our major point of focus today on this show is why the Supreme Court bench not attend the SONA.
Okay. Wow.
Why they left out. People are saying, "Low, they are not forced. You know, they didn't get no impact to me," but it shows
Wow.
legitimacy. Like Mr. Yene said earlier, there are three branches of government, and all three branches of government function equally. Though they accept the function separated, but they equally function.
Yeah.
So you cannot have the legislature. You cannot have uh you cannot have the executive branch, and cannot also have the judiciary and leaving the judiciary out. In fact, the judiciary leaving themselves out because they do not want to recognize the illegal speakership of a person for which they have ruled. So, if the Supreme Court would have attended, the Supreme Court bench would have attended the SONA yesterday, automatically that means Rachel Kuhn is the legitimate speaker. But
Yeah. Yeah.
now as it stands, the speakership is still being embattled.
Yeah. So it's a complete protest that the Supreme
Yes,
Court
it's
carry
a
on.
protest
It's protest.
because how do we say it's a protest? This has happened before. It happened during Eddington. When the Supreme Court stayed out because they ruled in favor of snow, and by then the same president was undermined, they could not recognize the next speakership and did not attend the same sona. So this is the same example that is happening today. So where is our nation going? Where is the country heading to? What do we achieve? Was the president able to tell the Liberian people that look, in fact, I heard the president talking about the road from signing code to Logwa to hey man, I'll leave this to politicians. They will argue that. Because when we say the person, oh, you're already to your side. Today, Marco, I want to see Atlanta side. So
But
for me,
but the turnover note of the public work minister. I
mhm,
don't know the public works. Maybe some of I think I had something. I don't know what I sent in the chat room there. Most
no,
of the
not yet.
roles that were on the way, the roles were listed. So they keep repeating names of things that were existing. So that's the whole thing I
You
determined.
talk about the road from Secretary to Tapetan being 50% completed. When I was recently, like I don't know, when we follow the president the late Senator Bali, I think if you follow that video, in fact, I'm gonna play some. Like I'm gonna play some. Let me just play. He said the road from Secretary to Tapetan is 50%. Folks, the dust, because of the dust, this is how dusty is the road from here to from Ganta to Seclepier. This is how the road condition is like. You see ahead of you, you cannot even see. So imagine any little rain from now, you really have to be careful. So Michael, like I was saying, Any rainfall now, if the rainfall here in Monrovia recent days, if that happens in Nema, automatically the road from Ganda to the southeast will be a disaster one. It'll be very
No,
dangerous.
so that the government, when it comes to real asphalt pavement, most of the things they are doing is just basically patching or wasting red dirt.
So
So
then why will you
when
tell
they
like when people go is
when they
50?
waste the red dirt somewhere, why you the people saying for here you can take one day to go to the southeast? You think what they're talking about? You know the red dirt road and it blows thing off. Somebody put red dirt somewhere they grade it, then press secretary, the information minister, then say the dry season is going to be breaking that oh they can move it dry season all along in dry season that you can people get
The,
used to get stuck in
the
dry
least
season.
mistake. Mhm.
I'm,
You
I'm,
can
I'm,
get stuck in dry season.
I'm checking for the yellow machine and also those buses, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know.
No, the yellow machine, I think they mentioned something about the yellow machine. But let me be very, 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 very honest. That yellow machine thing they keep forcing. It was one of the main reasons they fought to remove Speaker Kofa.
Mhm.
That yellow machine thing will be one of the most embarrassing projects this government will ever put their hand in. I'm stating it for the record. And we here, bro.
Mhm.
You will the problem is about maintenance.
Yeah.
In most instances, when the government, you see, most of the government cars are parked at GSA. Most of the things at the end of
Yes.
the day, when they score one time, they go because when something is not for people, when it is not for individual people, they don't pay keen attention
Yeah.
to monitor and maintain it the way it should be. One of the reasons the private entities were hired in most instances is for the fact that when the government, sometimes even when the budget doesn't even happen, the people they themselves pre-finance most of the projects and they are maintaining these things because it is a platform on which they are, it is a medium through which they are getting projects from government. But mind you, that the government come with all that yellow machine, according to them, somebody said 19 per county. The counties are not even equal. How you even distribute only 19 per county in the first place? You got Mozzarella County, yeah, Mozzarella County. So I was already getting the logic because the logic is the thing that will be, we divide equally among the counties, and the counties are not equal. So in Mozzarella got 17 districts, another county got two districts, then you take
Yeah.
19,
They 90.
19 yellow
But
machine,
this,
you give
this
it to
is
the
how the
county
budget.
with two
This
districts,
is
you
how
say
the
19,
budget
you
of
give it
each
to
county.
Mozzarella. What kind of sense there? So
This is how the budget county development funds are being distributed. You will have counties of two districts being almost equivalent to counties that have five, six, seven, eight, 9 to 10 districts.
And for me, I look at it to be a big mistake they are making. They got to really reconsider that decision because this is what bringing about the distribution of counties. This is what making people to be encouraged to even say they want to divide their counties. Because you can look at, I mean, I think the population in like Ganta alone can make a county in the southeastern region.
Oh yes.
Just that population, just Ganta region, Ganta and
River
East.
Sales, for example, River Sales is just two districts.
Okay. Then look at
River
Monserrato too. Monserrato has large population. You can look,
17 districts.
you see, well, jam packed, 17 district. Now, no space. Now, not everybody can even register to vote.
So these things, they if our country, Michael, if the people we call leaders, if they cannot put their feet to fire, and you, if I you the citizen, cannot put their feet to fire, automatically this country will be hailing for nowhere. Because this is just the first of a kind we started. All people will say, oh, but all our international panel attended yesterday. Other people, so the people that attended, what business do they have to do there as compared to the Supreme or more than the Supreme Court bench?
Yeah, the Supreme Court.
You have the German ambassador there, for example, the Swedish ambassador there, for example. Do they have more business as compared to the Supreme Court? Do they?
And what's the way forward for me? Yeah.
Yes. So,
yes. So they talk about education, talk about agriculture, talk about so we need this budget. They probably need people in
yeah, let
treating
the
us
budget
well.
come out. Yeah, that's the problem. The
The
budget don't want to come out. I'm
president,
going to say holding on it.
they people play on the entire country. To be honest, Why you will take a budget, you claim that you signed a budget, you only put a signature page on the Ministry of Finance website, and you took the entire budget you had in the budget. Why are they hiding the budget? Because from that budget, we know some of the things that you said you did. I see the claimings on the USAID project, and I USAID doing here, they claiming it, they putting it in sooner. It's understandable, but some of these projects, they never start on them. These projects they claim that they launched were never launched on them.
The
So
thing,
budget, the budget, the outcome, if we even evaluate the economic portion of the economic portion of when they talk about the economy, the portion of the sonar, we need to know the real author. There's somebody was saying, I think I listened to somebody was saying, oh, you see, you raised more money than you projected, or then that you said you were going to raise. The government is breaking or raising more money, but there are a lot of sectors that are still underfunded. That even this year, people were protesting at hospitals, people were protesting at schools that they did not get their pay, that they did not get their money for anything. So the hospitals are still deplorable. Mr. Yene, check Moserado County. Check some of those schools in Moserado County. I'm not talking about in Bon County. I'm not talking about in the southeast. I'm not talking about in
right
Lima
here in
County.
Most
In
rather that
Mosorado County,
holds the
somebody that
budget.
said they are making intervention in education. Let me tell you something. At some point, I got some school projects that were undertaken. At some point, I can you saying picture how deplorable. And when we saw some buildings, some schools, something that were happening, you see
In a
some
city,
places
we
with
say
that
interior
passion
part
to
though.
be cry for the country.
Just
Most
in
County
Mosul.
children are sitting on the floor
On the
in
floor,
places that the government consider
You
to
talk
be
about flow.
school.
You talk about the flow. The president talk about one child, one chair project.
One child. In most County, they got schools that don't have seats. Children are sitting on the floor. They are sitting
So
on bricks. In
so the
most
president say
County.
they will be
more
initiating one
importantly,
child, one chair. Mhm.
more
Then they put
importantly,
14 million in budget. Where the 14 million go, we don't know. But in most, we talk in most County, if that thing happening in most County, what are you talking about the southeast? What are you talking about Neymar? What are you talking about Grand? What are you talking? If in most County, if we can continue, people are still saying that on breaks on ground in most County.
more
Go in
importantly, more importantly, you still got teachers called voluntary teachers
Oh yes, but on the
in
last
primary
edition,
school.
Michael, you listen to one lady that who called that the government sent them. The government sent them for as a volunteer. Since then, even Christmas, just that
How
after
you
I promised to get back to her, but she
expect
I
these
called
people
her
to
NSI, I could not get
survive?
her.
You calling them voluntary teachers. How you expect them to survive? But just in recent time, sorry, the video I cannot bring it now. I think it was towards town, one of those villages where the journalists went that time. You could see the children, they will use their slipper as chair,
Oh
then they
yes,
use their knees as the table, they be pressing on. I think that day when the journalists
but
went
go
out,
unification town right here in Neman as well. Similar
yeah,
situation happened.
that two teachers were present that day. They said the other teacher is working by land to come. He's a volunteer teacher too. And every one of them that was there was a volunteer teacher. The vice president was running campaign. He said they're going to remove all the ghost names from the government payroll, and then they're going to make sure that there will be no voluntary teacher. Why now? You
We're
still
going,
got
we're
teachers
going
there
one
that
year.
they are not paid. We are gone 1 year. What you doing about education? Yeah. For me, sooner as whole, I know that lies. That lies.
Is there a clear strategy for education? A real clear strategy? Actually, maybe sometimes some of the people that work with the Ministry of Education, maybe you need to get, on the basis of anonymity, you could just, interview, have some conversation with them that you could jot some points down to see whether there are some clear. There is nothing clear. Most of these policies that the people are bringing, most of them are vague. It is a C06 and 7. In these institutions, you see education 15 million. The educational sector 15 million, the agricultural sector, the other million, the health sector, And most of these millions go just on salary payment alone. They do not go on the improvement of anything else.
Nothing.
Most of those 15 million, they 20 million, NSA are all getting 15 million. And the only thing NSA can do for the
I
15
telling
million,
you,
that will
it's
be
to be
torturing people around. But that's all NSA can do, because what the threat that is
Those
that they are
loud
not,
people.
it's not running beyond the other
yeah,
politicians who disagree with them to torture them. Those
yeah.
15 million. And
Oh,
that 15 million the president will be using to be renting private jet. Because let me tell you, NSA own of money, they can pass it through from the consolidated account straight. From the consolidated account straight, they bring it on the counter. You put it in bag, you carry it. And now something like you put it in any kind of account. That's how they can operate with their own money. So that one of the reasons the Liberian government will put plenty of money on our other sector for them to take it, for the president to be living luxurious life, Manazeli, I don't know how she call it. Yeah, Manazeli got some kind of terminology she used.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
it's so saddening. It's so saddening that you will have a judiciary branch when you have three separate branches that equally function. You have one extending from the process. It jeopardizes the peace. It jeopardizes the rule of law in our country. So Nyangwe, just join us. Nyangwe, you will pay late for you.
Welcome,
I mean,
Sulu.
anything you say, I agree with. I've been running almost 2 hours just to come and meet the show because
Okay.
I heard Marco and Lawrence discussing my whole head thing. I said I gotta go there. They may I'm enjoying it too much.
Yeah. So welcome.
uh, yeah, look. While I was walking into the apartment, I heard Marco saying that some of the project and probably did not start the project. That's true, Marco. Let me just give you an example. If you look on in the speech, you will see where the president mentioned West Point and Sano.
Mhm.
And I think I can find that page for you. I can find that page for you so you can be able to follow. It's a West Point and Sano project. It will be on page 18. And let me read it so I can tell you what they are trying to do here. It says, as we face the daunting challenges of climate change and global warming, Liberia remains steadfast in advancing environmental sustainability. In 2004, they claiming now in 2004, it means last year when we were in power, we developed regulations to conserve
2024.
air, water, and soil with international climate financing in 2004. We are
2024.
2024.
constructing coastal defenses to protect vulnerable areas such as West Point and Greenfield City from sea erosion. No, that is a blatant lie. Let me prove to you in 2021, the Monrovia Metropolitan Climate Resilient Project was launched by the WIA government. That project was funded by the Green Climate Fund, and the total amount of money was $25 million. And in that $25 million, the Green Climate Fund contributed 17.2 million. The government of Liberia contributed 6.8 million. The UNDP contributed 1.5 million. This is the project that they said in 2004 they launched. But not only that, this one was just West Point.
2024
This one was just
CEO.
West Point. I'm sorry?
2024.
They said 2024, they launched it 2024. Yeah, last
And you
year.
keep saying 2004.
But at 2021, the project was launched. But more than that, this one is just West Point. In Sano, the Sano project that they refer to, that they launched 2024, that Sano project was a $10 million project. And that $10 million project was launched 2022. And it was funded by the Green Climate Change Fund. And that project was contributed, Liberian government contributed at least $1 million to the project. The rest of the money came from climate change fund. So this is the kind of project that they are telling Liberia that they did last year. Why are they doing this?
That speech, the person that wrote the speech, first of all, I'm disgusted with the speech writer. We are lucky that the Omena fall off again. You writing speech for such an old man, you make it 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes. Why? Why are you doing that? We call that elder abuse.
And
from,
again, you didn't see the
from
security man. He said, drink the water, you go shake the hand.
yeah, he
Yeah,
said just before they go to like
yeah. Can you imagine that kind of disgrace? Just drink water, go shake their hand. Eh? Then
eh,
now listen to the funny part. I will read you. Go to page 12 of the speech. Let me show you something that the president. I don't know whether the president is speech writer were making fun of us or they decide to just I don't know why they were doing that. Uh, let me find it for you because I want you to follow when I'm reading it.
mm,
This is what the president said is happening right now. Right now. And I will read it and you guys tell me what is happening right now. The president said that's on page 7, sorry. It said the arrest agenda aims to drive economic transformation through diversification, focusing on agriculture, nicely, road development, and infrastructure, period. It emphasizes the rule of law. Which country that the rule of law is taking place? In Liberia.
When the Supreme Court bench is abstaining from the State of
Which
the Nation
country,
address.
which country Joseph Baka government is implementing rule of law? But not only that, if you think it is already annoying, it says it improved in the past governance and anti-corruption. That means corruption is improved in Liberia. Can anybody can Joseph Baka preach this? Even the people in the street, can you preach to them and tell them say corruption is improved? That do have improved corruption. Let me tell you why corruption is not improved and governance is not improved. During the inauguration, Joseph Boyka, Minister of State, went to NASCO and told the NASCO that Joseph Boyka told him to give them 5 vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That was lie.
Personal
Joseph
use.
Boyka didn't tell him to do that. Since they took that vehicle, he used it on his own. He had not reported that vehicle. There was an audit that came with $2.6 million allegation against Abdullah Kamara from Liberia Telecommunication Authority because he's a cousin to Joseph Boakai. He cannot be removed. Look at what they do. All the company, B Mountain, B Mountain, were making people to be crying over there. That B Mountain paying for a private plane. The first one are eight seated. The second one are 12 seated. Now they get 20 seated. That's why he flew with to yesterday to
Yeah,
go to.
last even year to go.
Wow. So where is the corruption improvement? Where is the governance process? That is it. You are removing tenure position people and gave Elisha Toll and the other guys 675 million about $655,000 just to tell them to make your leave your kid for in the court.
Yeah, yeah, your case.
Elisha Alunga almost 350,000 just to
Made it
move a
very
kid
rich.
in the court.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
said
very,
it, you said there was an order that said the man stole. So why you can use it to remove the man? Instead of you going to court, you are bribing the man to take a court case from the court. Samuel 12 was taken to court. Samuel 12 now go to the court 3 times asking for the case to go on. The government said they need time. How can government say they need time on the kind of thing?
Yeah. But the
How?
man been in the CEO, the man been in the country almost 4 months now. They
The
said,
man, the man they go to
they said they
former. The
wanted
man
to.
running over the case. The government said they're not ready yet. They asked for a postponement. They also case that they can't they took the guy to the court where they charge them. Their lawyer
yeah,
said they ready to go to court. The government filed a motion that they want to they still need time for them to come and prosecute the case. You know you don't get case before you can go postman in court.
yeah, in court.
I
That's
think
the problem.
In Samuel 12 case for the first time he said the case was not put on the docket for the 10th of court at that time. That the first excuse they gave that time. But
Uh-huh.
then they tell them,
Who
oh,
the opponent? Okay,
hey,
oh man, and they were prosecuting people for corruption. They're not just
You
supposed
know,
to
they
case the
kept
corruption.
escaping that case. So when the judge started giving it hard and they should bring evidence, they say the judge are not
Then they moved
impartial.
the judge. They
So they
already moved
removed
the
the
judge.
judge. Before I think they were running after the bond.
Dixon,
When they
Lamar
didn't
Dixon.
succeed on the bond, and they
and
jumped behind the
oh,
judge.
yeah.
Yeah, they moved Lamar Dixon because they said Lamar Dixon seemed to have interest in the case. So they moved him from there because Lamar Dixon is asking them, you got to come to court. You got to come. Because after 6 months, when that case is not prosecuted, the defense lawyers have the right to file a writ or demanding null prosecutor because of lack of prosecution.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
what
right.
that's what the law says.
September, October, November, December. In January, this is the 5th month.
It's a 5th month. So
Minister
what they will do now, what they're going to do, Michael? What they're going to do,
September.
Michael, you know what they're going to do? They're going, as soon as it enters 6 months, they will rush to the court and file a motion. When they file a motion to ask the judge to give them continuance, to give your time, so and so time, so we can start the prosecution. Then it means the prosecution has started. Now what they're going to do? They're going to delay Cemetery will not leave. They don't want you to leave. They want you to be here. How you get that kind of case you don't want to prosecute it? Why would you do something like that? The asset recovery thing, you see any asset recovery over there in that
No,
whole thing?
no, one thing the president
No
mentioned
asset
about it in his
recovery.
speech. No, he did not talk about it in his speech.
So what kind of government
Now,
that
said
was
the
so
president,
much
the president
bad?
asked that supposed to recover for him, so he's
Yeah,
scared of asset recovery.
yeah. What kind of government that say going to recover all the lost thing then they will start it from the beginning? Boo, 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 boo. $725,000 given to the asset recovery team. They give
So,
them additional money now, a $1.2 million that they are using now. They don't have asset recovery in the State of the Nation address to tell us what they have
what
recovered,
they do?
who they
Yeah.
have arrested, who they are prosecuting, how much money they are recovered, what's the property worth, nothing. In our same speech, no prosecution of corruption cases they mentioned. They said there were other reports. Who are you prosecuting? Why you didn't mention Samuel Todd name? Why you didn't do any of that?
Mhm.
So what is going on with these people?
So CEO just make your point on the absence of the rule of law caucus in the Supreme Court bench before we think about accepting cause.
Oh, my man there is sufficient. I didn't even want to go there. But yeah, the devil is officially any man they are smarter than me. So I want to make myself what. But here is a problem. Yeah, here's a problem. The Charles Yates published and said that the Chief Justice was not going to attend the SONA. Ambrose Meyer, my old friend and my old enemy, I don't know whether he enemy or friend, he is the court administrator at this point. He wrote and said it's not true. The Chief Justice is attending a ceremony in some country, and so the other
Egypt.
the other four
Egypt.
justices in Egypt. Thank you. Surprisingly, why everybody expect when you look at that speech at the top of it, look at the top of the speech. The president did not mention Chief Justice.
Oh
Let me
yes.
read it. I'm very good at picking up things. When he was beginning the speech, he said, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Member, and members of the House of Representatives, Madam Pro Tem and members of the Senate, Associate Justices and members of the Judiciary. Normally, it would be Madam Chief Justice and members of the Justices of the Supreme Court and members of the Judiciary. But she knew that the Chief Justice wasn't here. So
So
he was too
he didn't
sure.
mention that. Mhm.
He was too sure the justices were going to be there. So he decided to address them. And that the people were absent. How can this be a good thing? How can it be a unified program when you invite the justices of the Supreme Court and they refuse to go? Why would they go and sit down under a gavel of the people they declared to be illegal? What would they tell their children? What would they say tomorrow? What would they say? So
So
they
you
decided to
you all
boycott.
sat there. You all sat there and
Yeah. But not only
legitimize.
that, not only the only people that didn't go there, the 27 of the 28 people didn't go there.
Two people from the non minority attended, one lady and I
Yeah.
think one other guy.
Hmm.
They attended. So 27 people were there. But here is the catch. George Weah was not there. The entire CDC leadership was not there. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was not invited to the program. How you call this a unified program?
And these are things that Liberians need to look at. Former leaders, you still have former leaders alive, former president of the country,
How
they
in the
are alive.
world? How can you not invite these kind of people? How? The justices boycotted your program. The rule of law people they boycotted your program. The former president that you served under as vice president did not attend your sona. The opposition leader and all his officials from the party, none of them attended your program. What kind of unified government you say you got?
All of the I did not see Tiawon. I was hoping to see him yesterday. I could not see him.
I
I did
don't
not
think
see
Tiawan
Tiawon.
went there. I don't think he went there.
I did not see Tiawon. And all
We
of
don't
the
have.
all of
Obviously not go sit down on a radio con.
Oh yeah, Tiawan will
It's
not.
obviously not go sit down. That one, but you ain't gotta be rocket scientist with
Yeah,
that.
all of the
Tiawan
lobby,
will go there.
all
You
of the
know,
Until
political
all
I
that
want
parties.
issue
you
is
guys
settled.
time a lot, but I just want to say one more thing before.
Mhm.
Uh,
Go get the cause. Yeah.
so in here on page 17, he said last year we spoke candidly about how systemic corruption undermines trust, hinders progress, and tarnishes our reputation. A new beginning is needed. A
Hmm.
Liberia where transparency and accountability are the cornerstones of governance. And listen to this. While corruption remains a formidable adversary, we must recognize the progress we have made. Which progress? Which progress Joseph Baga made with corruption?
The progress of establishing the how to call this assets recovery team and putting the Liberian people money into the asset recovery team without making any impact. The progress the progress
Oh my
of
God.
authoring the budget of 2024.
Yeah, after the pass the budget, they finger the budget. But listen to
Progress.
the one. If you think that one looking crazy, listen to this one on page 17 still. It said we call on the national legislature and judiciary to join us as allies on this patriotic journey. Acting on audit report. They say they are acting on audit report. I don't know which audit report they are acting on because we're going to see which audit report they're going to act on. Acting on audit report and fast tracking corruption cases will restore public confidence in our government.
How do you
How are they?
and how do
How
you
are
expect
they?
the judiciary to work alone when they are still boycotting your activities?
Yeah.
How do you expect
Yeah.
the judiciary to also work alone?
The president said they are training 10,000 young people in all the 16 counties. My man, in Nima, do they have, because if you divide the 10,000 to the county, maybe you have a 6,000 each. Do you
Like
have 600
300,
or 6,000?
300, like 323, between 300 people benefited in Nimba.
Yeah. So, and now everybody is, in fact, the training they're talking about, it's just a crash something, your whole workshop here and do this and do that. The last one before I go, because we don't have a lot of time here. Because I marked all of these things for this program today. Unfortunately, I was unable to come on time.
We will still discuss that. We have more time. We
Yeah.
will have that
I think
speech
we still have
tomorrow.
we still have time. So I'm just going to
Tomorrow,
leave it like that, for us to talk about it another time. Because this is really disgracing. You got a program, and the judiciary branch they did well today. Kofa became a winner again. When I
Yeah.
said Kofa won the battle, that's what I meant. Kofa didn't win the war because Okun is the speaker right now. So Okun win the war, King win the fight, but Kofa won the battle. Now the
The,
battle is
the
showing up.
junta speaker. The junta speaker.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
but
Jeremy, I mean,
yeah,
um,
but
we
even
tomorrow
the
we discuss this, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to discuss this tomorrow again.
yeah,
so
so
that's
the 10,000 people that they talk about training CEO. When
mhm.
you follow up on it, you will know that the training is very basic. It is not a training that can give anybody a job.
No
I mean,
way.
I
You
just
just
workshop.
It's not a training that can
security
give
workshop.
anybody a job. Telling somebody to put
Workshop.
computer on, boot computer, put it on, turn it off,
Yeah.
In fact, look,
copy and
look,
paste. It
look,
cannot give anybody a
Michael,
job. That thing is very basic.
Michael, you
Very
talk about something. You already mentioned something, right? Look, without boasting, my little son who just turned 4 years old can start computer. He can reboot computer. Just 4 years old. He knows about smartphone very well. So why would you take grown up people, go put in someone for 1 week to teach them computer in basic computer skill? 1 week.
to justify
But
someone at two,
what
three
one we will
million
do?
dollars. To
Then no other way, the
justify
computer will do here. What one we will do that just now to turn the computer on and put it back up. But
In
even
one
worse
week.
than that, I want to mention it before we go, man. Jeremy, I beg you. It says on page, that one I got to mention it, but man, Jeremy, I beg you. If we want
Uh-huh,
ask for more time, we ask for time for the station 16, page 16. It
uh-huh.
says key institutions audited include the Executive Protection Service. Where is the result? Where's the report of the EPS audit? Central Bank. You say you audit Central Bank, you audited Central Bank, and the bank governor was named as one of the improprietors. So why are you giving and bribing a man to take a case from the court? Why don't you arrest him, charge him with corruption, and put him to court and let him pay for it? Why are you bribing a man with $350,000 to move a case for him to court so you can appoint your cousin? The man was still suspended when Joseph Boyga submitted his cousin name, the current bank governor, the current acting bank governor, to the Senate for confirmation. Because of embarrassment, they had to fast track the payment of Elisha Talu. So Elisha
Mm-hmm,
Talu had removed the case from the court.
mm-hmm.
They audited the government consolidated fund, Liberia Telecommunication Authority. Yes, they audited Liberia Telecommunication Authority, and the chairman of the LTA, Abdullah Kamara, was alleged to have misused $2.6 million. When were
What
you
has
prosecuting? The man
what has the
still there.
government what has they done about
I
that?
mean, I don't know, man. I
So
don't
the
know.
audit report they are referencing, most of the audit reports they are referencing are they will not be audit report 2024. They will not audit them, they will not prosecute themselves on any audit issue. All the audits will be referring to will be past audits. The entire 2024 audits that will come out will ignore it. You can trust me on
Ah,
that. And the past audits, most of the people that are in data in the past audit, the Atla Camara you are mentioning, and other people, they will never put attention on those cases. And they
I
came,
mean,
they
it's
took
probably
8
not
million
serious,
from
right?
they
It's
took
probably
they
not
took 8
serious.
million from Central Bank to give it to the other bank that was going on. There are a lot of things they will not pay attention to.
the
It's just
one
about
wanted to
selective justice. It's just about witch hunt. It's just about trying to suppress people. They talk about press freedom. CEO, you saw press freedom. See
I
the
saw the
things they
press
mentioned
freedom.
on press
I
freedom
just laugh.
where they
I
beating all
just
the
laugh.
journalists around, they threatening
Yeah.
journalists. Then they mention LBS renovation there, the new studio in LBS as their achievement. Esther Lewate completed our place with the Chinese people. Eugene has done absolutely nothing. They only left boy Eugene and put up.
No, but
When you school
if they can
one
take 2021 and 2022 project and say that the project they did last year, then what you expected?
when Eugene school in one level up, you can take picture and put it on Facebook and say
impose
LBS will never remain the same. But he has done absolutely nothing when Eugene are going to do any major project there. You put in level or you can see it. Then at any major project, you not post it on Facebook. LBS
You
has
can
done
be
nothing
protecting
new.
himself.
It was everything that happened in LBS, it was under Estella Leote.
But no, Eugene will not admit that. He will not admit that. As far as concerned, he's the only person that had done something good in that place. Nobody
Only
else has done
level
it.
he not put up. He not clean
but
the
there is
grass. When you talking grass,
at
when
the
you say LBS,
LBS
now be the thing. You
at
put
the
level
LBS
up, say
there
LBS,
is
now
a
be the thing.
huge confusion. There is a huge confusion among staffers,
Oh yeah.
among the executives of that area. Serious battle, in-house fight at the LBS.
Remember what happened when you take a dictator and put it over an institution. Me, I tell people management in Africa. Me, I suffer from people. I suffer under people. So I can't look. It's just like when you live with somebody, the people suffer you. Then people live with you, then you suffer the people. It's just that nothing changed.
Hmm.
There's nothing changed. I suffer. Inquiry newspaper. I worked there 1 year. No pay, no pedam, nothing. I had no money. I was wearing one pants and one shirt that Gabriel Williams said, Gibson, for the last 3 weeks, I've been seeing you wearing one shirt, one trouser. I go home, I watch it, I press it nicely. When I come by the way, it's shining my boon and
staining, but still that is seen chasing pens. I know. So when you come into management and then you do the same thing to the people, that's why Eugene and they ain't well known on nobody. They don't learn these things. They just work up, bull, they find themselves up there. They don't know how to treat the people they are working with. If I'm a manager of LBS, I ain't gotta do nothing. Those guys will do the job for you.
Oh
You
yes.
just treat them, you just treat them well.
Hmm.
Respect them. Respect them. I ain't gotta show anything. I ain't gotta prove anything. All I need to do is give them a chance to do the job, respect them, work along with them, listen to them, make your
They make
suggestions, and let
make
them
and
run.
wear vest. They make and wear vest to go do live Facebook broadcast to make
But
a
the
press
president
conference.
of Liberia, if you ask them if the government has done well with press freedom, whether the president of Liberia can attest to that. The president of Liberia, because I
Amen.
saw the latest report.
Georgia passed a press freedom law.
Yeah,
Ellen
so
was there. Ellen she didn't pass it. When Georgia came, there was a
Yeah,
press
the
law.
actual
The
camera press.
Abdullah T. Kamara, yeah,
but do you
AK,
know CEO? All the opposing media houses like Truth FM, like Freedom FM, they didn't get them passed for the program.
No, they were not. We were
Freedom
lucky
FM, they didn't get them
because
passed. Truth FM. So a
there was
lot of
somebody there.
opposing media houses they didn't get. They ain't talking about
And,
press freedom.
and
Where press freedom come
CEO,
from?
Marco, just talking about that. Like you brought this. Let me just bring this to our attention. They said there were inadequate passes, but we
Well,
noticed that government stations that they are friendly with, like for example, Cool FM, for example, you have the owner of Cool FM working in the government. They have
Yeah,
passes.
yeah.
They have their workers in abundance, where they were only allotting one. Yeah, I was the only person from my station that have access to pass.
Can you imagine? This man doing video, he's doing audio. How will he do both? He can't.
You understand? But you have
With
other
the kind of
people who
business.
some of them have 4 or 5 passes, but you say
Then they
only
deny some radio stations there completely.
And
They
yeah.
talk about press freedom. The common people hearing the other one, that the press freedom story. So the whole thing is just charade. We're not
So
making money
let
out of the
our
country.
people that are listening, you listening to us tonight, you probably think we don't like the government. If we don't like the government, we'll not make no business like bro. We're not even talk about hey. If you get a woman, you let a woman, you get time to a pastor.
yeah, anything you're doing, yeah, Leo should go.
Yeah, Leo. That's I'm going to bring it to that level so they can understand. If you married to your husband and you don't like your husband, whether you go up and come down, that's your business. You chill out, do what you want to do. You don't care. You don't have no interest. It not affect you. It not concern you. And your wife doing you get boyfriend or she do that or you don't get time. You not no jealous. She want go let us see our business because you don't care about her. But if you care about her, every move that she makes, if it's wrong, you say, "Mom, boy, you can't do this. It's wrong. You can't be talking to people like that. You can't go out and sleep. You can't go to this kind of place. You can't be afraid of kind of people." You will say this thing because you care about your wife. That's the
yeah,
same way with Liberia looking. When you see us talking about these things, it means we care about Liberia. If we don't care about Liberia, we'll leave it. Anything Liberia, they have in Liberia, their business. Once I get my daily bread, that's it.
Oh
But we
yes.
care so much that our country too. We want best out of this country too. All the people that are talking here today, all the people that are criticizing, they don't criticize because they want to. They criticize because they want the government to change and do
Oh
better.
yes. Hmm.
That's what we are here for. And we'll continue to do this.
So
I like
we don't have time. Let's accept
yeah.
calls. Let's accept calls. So folks, uh, this is Wake Up Call on Blaze Radio 90.7. We have our panelists, Mr. Lawrence Yene, Michael Ta. They are all here, and we're here with the CEO as well. You listen to the president message. And our main point of focus today is the question: why did the Supreme Court bench turn down the invitation? Let's get this first caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Emmanuel Wright calling from Portland.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the show is good, but the CEO not balancing the show. So the whole program yesterday, so
Uh-huh.
the CEO can even talk one good stuff what the president said. Nothing at all.
So okay, so
Everything
now
we
the
agree.
CEO not say it. The CEO not say it. You're having the
Yes,
opportunity. What is the good thing the president said yesterday? Now you have
the
the
president
opportunity.
said, listen, and the president said some good things.
Such
Wow.
as.
But he just all everything he criticized.
Let him say that when the president,
Everything
in
he
fact,
show,
we are telling him
anytime,
for his
everything
business.
he
Let him
criticized.
say what the president said I was good.
Show you say some good things, but they see you looking
So
like
no, so now you get an
better
opportunity. Now we're
expectation.
giving you 10 minutes
Mention some of the thing now.
of the thing the president said, like maybe the CEO just criticizing.
But the youth program, the
Yeah.
10,000, that's one of the good things the government did.
So
But
that
he didn't talk
means
about it.
10,000 people that benefited from the program.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm telling you. But everything he criticized, that is you I get problem with. He the me person.
Thank you.
Baba.
Good morning, Joseph Tama.
Tell you sorry.
Good morning, Brother Achi. Let me say good morning to your studio panelists.
Mm.
Let me say good morning to Labyrinth also following this Wake Up Morning show.
Hello. Oh God, the guy's been home on us. 0779079070887111107. The female line 778075616 and our WhatsApp number +231 888 5777750. So if you're there following, you can call us on the show. This is what we're saying. You have the president giving the State of the Nation address yesterday, and the judiciary branch was asking. Oh, God. Please lower your radio. Good morning. Oh, you have terrible background. Good morning.
Yeah, Brother Achi.
Yeah, you left the line. I don't know why. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know your poor connectivity of network.
Mhm.
As I was saying, let me say good morning to Labyrinth following the broadcast. Let me appreciate you, Brother Achi, for the exclusive recognition. But for the public, my name remains Joseph S. Tamban, and I reside in District Number 6, Mosorado County. Brother Achi, sometimes I feel disappointed, most especially in Michael's analysis. So if you are saying that nothing this government had done in the first 1 year, meaning you are living on different planet, you don't exist on planet Earth. Because there are tangibles of this government, and government is continuity. If you are saying that all of the projects that have been undertaken by His Excellency President Joseph Mabwakari in the first year of his establishment as President of the Republic of Liberia, all of the projects have been.
Oh, Joseph, I don't know what is the cost. 0777907907088711107. 777907907. This is Wake Up Call. If you're just joining us, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. What is your name and where you call from?
Your ask you is for Harrisburg.
Harrisburg. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, thanks the studio there, the studio.
Mhm.
One thing I want for you people to know is this. The particular government just seems to speak a lot of things. Because number one, the president spoke that the ball president and the US press and what have you, and everything he says is completely false. Nothing that you tell me that people, or at least for us to be certified. You say you train 10,000 youth. Where are those youth? Which are the area you train is 10,000 youth? So you just forget about it people because they just need to speak things.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, lost this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. What is your name and where you call from?
My name is Jerome Nasteron Call from the Tingles Village.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I called to speak on this point of training youth.
Mhm.
My brother, can you imagine the youth that is in the training? People that learn computer since 2003, 2004. At the end of the day, that the same people they brought, like NASCO. You have educated people retraining them like for a whole day from 9 to 4 o'clock, just sitting. Rebooting computer web, my late kid, my 5-year-old kid can do. So all that thing I just show my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. What is your name and where you call from?
I'm brother Melvin Thomas Vareka. I'm calling from Brownsville, Crystal Pody Palm Farm.
Go ahead.
Yes, my brother, I would say that what is bigger than the universe is the human mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a mind of a man isn't developed, a body will never develop before we talk of its surrounding.
Okay.
And I want to believe this is what happened in the Liberia. 85.5% of our people are ignorant. So the so-called politician will come and just mislead our people.
What's the
And now
source of that
you
statistics?
know, you know,
85.5.
you just talking so bad, bad thing about the speech, and say was some good thing, and you say such as, and I was listening, such as you cannot say anything of that thing that was positive in the speech, but you say the president talk about Google thing, the president talk about Google thing. So they need to realize that in this country, the ignorant people made decisions for the inclined people. So they are our embarrassment. And the so-called politicians keep our people ignorant so that they don't know anything about what's going on. Can you imagine people are not studying about governance in school? People don't study in civics. People don't know how government functions. So the so-called politician will just come and just lead the people because their mind are not developed. Country that are going forward is country that they have people where their mind are developed. So our country will go nowhere because the mind of our people isn't developed. So let's try with the human resource development first. So Michael said, the man who wrote the seven abolition of the earth, he said, let's keep them ignorant. So once people are ignorant, they don't know what's going on. So that's why the guy just attacked the CEO Jenna. The CEO just talking about things that the man say everything will not fine, everything say I will not. Okay, such as what are some of those things that the man point out that you know that were good, but you can need nothing. So they just have you in their phone and then they just fall because of ignorance. They just say anything.
Thank you
So
so
let's
much.
develop the mind of the people first.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Pascal. Pascal, go ahead.
And let me say good morning to Jeroen and Michael. So, the government actually did some good things. And those things that the government did, it is only the fire, the Kuma, the Sierra, the Tama. Only those people can point out the good thing. My man, the governor of Liberia has three distinct branches. They all coordinate. And one of it is extracted, they both have the government. So the judiciary, the fulcrum of any government democratically, when the judiciary is absent, you don't have a government. We saw that yesterday. The full bench of the judiciary, the Supreme Court, was absent. But look, say, ask yourself, when turning positions were being stripped out, the Supreme Court took a decision on the president. What did the president do? He didn't listen to the Supreme Court. He went on. Today, as we speak, there more than 3 days, the LTA has still got people acting in those positions. Come on. No, look, say, I mean, somebody said the CEO and you ask, so you give them the opportunity to need more than 100 things the president did, right? And they could not mean zero. But look, CEO, this is the country where when you say the truth, you become the most hated. So they are dead then. They can go to Spoon now. Spoon is the worst in the whole world. But there was a scene Spoon who saw yesterday and collected funding from every part of the world. And said, Mr. Brecker, let's put a campaign. Today, Liberia, nobody can turn to Spoon because Spoon now is wicked. Because, Mr. Brecker, this is not what we brought you for. That's not what we supported you for. Spoon is hated. And that's the same way we see you. This man has come to provide all of us a platform. As a message, just leave me fasting on the president day.
Yeah, we'll give you the opportunity. If you want leave 100, we'll let you leave 100.
You're denying her now. You want to support you. Ask the mayor, just ask. You had the proper opportunity to leave more than 100. But again, like I said, I want to fire, when the Tama, when the Tanu, when the Kuma, nowhere the president. Mama,
Thank you.
we eat to it, and we eat to it.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Thank you. I'm Daniel Wadipi, and I call
Sorry.
from 540 Komotan.
Okay, Daniel Wale, go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, thank you very much for your program this morning. You see, that's why we said that this woman will not be able to control this country. He will not be able to control this country. We told them that this woman will not be able to control this country. Let's take somebody different to do our work. We saw it from the CPB side. He did nothing to that place there. And CPB destroyed.
Okay.
Today he has come. Just see what happened in government everywhere. And today he has come to tell us nothing. Nothing he told us yesterday. So it's just a waste of time. See what is happening. Good thing that he's supposed to talk about. He never did it. He talked different things. And what is rest? The rest. You even tell one president.
Is it rest president? So you tell what I chew all the president lie. The president said rest president. They say gas president. US rate all rate. US rate how much in Congo time? They play you in.
Oh,
how much is the US rate?
198.
Okay. So at least you're going down small, reach to 300.
You see, the problem is that we in a serious problem. But you know, sometimes when you are supporter of the group,
Look, I've been listening to the radio. So your mother can finish up.
Don't be supporter of that group and then get there than the truth. So what is going on? Nothing is going on.
Okay.
Things are becoming hard.
All right.
And we just tell our government, say, government, you doing things wrong. See what's happening now. You see how the government was looking yesterday. A lot of people never represented. Those are things that can support this government. Oh my brother, don't you? Nothing good go on in the country, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Joseph Tama. You've been leaving line.
Yeah, but actually, I'm finding it difficult with my mobile phone this morning. But why it is true that I'm finding it difficult?
You have difficulty because you can't attack me directly.
But actually, I was saying something. People who claims that they are analysts have to be real and balanced issue when it comes to public discussion. I'm always disappointed in Micah's. Micah's points are always been the negativity but not the positivity on this platform. And I think they see how to do something about it. Why it is true. Blaze FM is providing us the opportunity to air our view, to discuss national concern. But they have to be balanced. You understand that? So, brother, let me speak on the lawmakers who boycotted the SONA yesterday. You know, it sounds laughable and it sounds very joyful. You know, if you boycott the SONA yesterday, claiming that you don't honor the speakership of Richard Kuhn, tomorrow you go and sit under you go at the Capitol building and sit under Higabo as speaker. So what's the rationale? These are political tactics to pin the government of the Republic of Liberia under the stewardship of His Excellency Joseph Imam.
So what will you say of the Supreme Court?
I'm coming. I want to deal extensively with those lawmakers who claim they are rule of law lawmakers.
The lawmakers.
Let me tell you something,
Joseph.
Yeah, I'm coming. We have been respectful of my view.
So yeah, I want to ask you a question, right?
Good. Most welcome.
So the lawmakers granted, you know, when you are absent in class, the teacher got nothing to do with you. So you can be absent, you choose not to go to school. So the lawmaker met quorum. According to them, they met quorum. So they have to host the session. So session was held. But why didn't the Supreme Court attend the session?
Good. That's a beautiful question. Actually, I appreciate that. You know, the Supreme Court decision for boycotting the SONA, I don't see the rationale. I don't see no idea in it because this case was given to you. This case was presented to you. You had the couple to come out cleared explain to us as
The
Liberians.
Supreme Court was
And
clear.
I'm coming. They were not clear to the extent that Fanatico have to write a bill of for clarity. So was that clear? No, nothing was clear. So they created the embarrassment today that we sing. So they should be here reliable, not the president, not the executive branch. No, because if you are given an opportunity to serve, and you feel that I will do this to embarrass another person, meaning you are going to embarrass yourself. And that's what they are doing to themselves. They are shooting in their own legs. So when we conclude on the lawmakers. There will be a punishment comes from 29 for those who call themselves rule of law lawmakers because they are creating total embarrassment to this country. You cannot abandon because the CDC party, they are causing serious problem here. Because we saw here few days to the sooner, we saw a CDC chairman who wrote that no seditions, no CDC lawmakers from the lower half, from the upper, or any staffers of CDC should attend the sooner. Why are they doing that? Do you feel that this country belongs to them? No.
Thank you.
This country is for every one of us.
Thank you, Tama. Pascal, 30 seconds.
Yeah, so it's just education and clarity. So if the Supreme Court wasn't clear according to somebody a section, right? So how can the executive decided to do business when according to him the Supreme Court wasn't clear? If you claim yet today that the Supreme Court wasn't clear,
then who recognized Rachel Kuhn? Who recognized Rachel Kuhn?
How can the Minister of Justice interpret the ruling of the Supreme Court and was concurred? Look, it's a far time for this. I started teaching service for more than 6 years. So sometimes, only thing I can be able to tell people say, when you read, you will understand governance to your tips of your finger. Because somebody is claiming that Mr. Jehu is not balanced, blah, blah, blah. But Jehu, this government, this station got nobody in government. But they may run to court every morning, right? The owner of that station is ambassador who, according to Mr. Bracker, is doing a pro bono job. Chris Panika. Why people can read and follow things in this country?
Thank you, Pastor.
I think that comment we're doing here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Archie, and good morning to your two panelists along with the CEO.
Welcome.
I call for my real resident this morning.
Okay.
Let me appreciate you for the third gift. Archie, you have your radio station in District number 6. Your president lied to the nation yesterday that saying that for me, our mayor food that we're going to. He said the press of rest has dropped, the rate has dropped, but it was not strange to me because listening to the press secretary of female who sat on the school network and lying to the Liberian people. So I knew that nothing could be fair to that yesterday at the summit that we are what put us fair on the school stuff. It was not what President Oga was going to say yesterday to the Liberian people. And one of your callers said the lawmaker who supported the rule of law will not be re-elected. But I can show him so that now we ask God for grace. Those lawmakers are still up for the rule of law. They will be re-elected. They will be highly rated and feel to be high. Okay. And those will take you for the Supreme Court who never disgrace affairs because the law was interpreted by the justice minister. After the court had ruled, the justice minister coming out to interpret the law. And he said the people should go and take honor of men and the time he is illegal. No, the people were saying that they will go back into that district because they were elected by the people, but they will not sit a web majority wanted to see them. See how poor the program was yesterday. To tell you people not interested in your municipality left government. Thank you for the time this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, we lost this caller. 07779079070 887111107. Let's get this person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Lord. Good morning to you, Bulaji.
Morning. What is your name?
Thank you. Let me say good morning to your CEO, good morning to your panelists, and good morning to our following the show this morning. I'm always following the show, and this is Kane Mohammed.
Oh, Mohammed, welcome.
On the push on it. Let me appreciate you have everybody actually and the CEO with Marcos and the other panelists there from the diaspora and our brothers and sisters that always listen to this video. Well, for me, I think I followed the president's speech yesterday, but I think I did not hear the president highlighting on person living with disability within his country.
You just make a point, yeah.
Okay. I voted for this government. Okay. But the way you see disabled or official, we as official citizens in this country, we are being treated, we're not being treated well. Yeah. Disabled person cannot be treated in this country. Well, I don't know. They're not only in this government, but to see disabled person to be treated good. Yeah. Where you see even a disabled or physically impaired person can even be given, can be employed in public offices, that even 5 or 10% in government, it's very, very much difficult for some of us. Yeah. And some of us, we don't let to even see ourselves going on the street to go and be singing or to go and be begging people. Sometimes people use words on some of us. Sometimes I see some of our brothers and sisters where they're children holding them, going from street to street, asking people even use some people even use words on them. Yes. But it is not they are doing. The president, I think he should have some level of disabled or disability background. I think he was to highlight on the way on person living with disability. Okay? Now, secondly, I would also disagree with President Boakas. If it comes to the issue, I don't know, the former Minister Dago said, the way in which I don't know, some of them, the way they are misleading the president when it comes to the issue of the commodity prices in this country. It's not covered at all, to be very honest. Okay? But actually, black others now in dollar paper on the Bush Island is sold for $3,450. And the red land is $5 land, $5 is $9.80. You see me? So I don't know. Yeah, people are misleading the president if you come to the way in which the president has been informed.
Okay.
I think for his speech yesterday, you need to take some serious action on some of his government officials. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Maybe Friday again, I'm going to join you on concerning my situation or my issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. What is your name and where you come from?
I'm Emmanuel David calling from Grand Bassa County District number 1.
Orange Grove, Grand Bassa County. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the show. But thank God I personally laughed to her yesterday.
Okay. All the men want to say thank God the president. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please lower your radio.
Yeah, all the morning, sir.
I'm good. What is your name and where you come from?
I'm calling from Singapore. You call me Prince.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, the Bible don't get nothing to tell the Liberian people. The boy, the man telling you say you're going to dance with the devil. So he said dancing with the devil.
Okay.
So like all I got to say.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Aji.
Morning. What is your name and where you come from?
My name is Isaac Bobo, calling from the Dubu Road.
Go ahead.
Aji, if you watch a whole sooner yesterday, it was so laughable. I observed something keenly from a whole sooner. If you observe the vice president, when the president was speaking, look at the face of Jeremiah Quinn. When the president speaking, Jeremiah Quinn will open more. He found out a face. That alone tells that the president was lying to the public.
You know, for me, I was on the scene, but I was not really taking. Everybody can take different things. So I was observing.
Yeah. Because when the president speaking, Quinn will look at the public face, then he found out a face. Yes, I was looking at on to our area.
Okay.
Yeah, so just look at just watch that whole play. Take your own time, watch it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. What is your name and where you come from?
My name is Michael S. Command. I join you from Police Academy.
Police
Good
Academy.
morning
Go
to
ahead.
my my dear brother Lauren.
Okay.
The brother was talking. He tried to give him more time for him to outline the good thing of the government.
Good
They have
morning, Honorable. Good morning.
their report going to the issue. I think this government did some good things. Some is taking away certain positions, breaking down the rule of law, beating on our citizens who can protect and other
So
things.
those are
So I think
achievements. Those are achievements
these
of
are
the government.
these are the good things. So it may be forgettable. It will get help quickly to that of the judges. Those people stay away to single out to the war and even to our Liberian people that this government is not proceeding rightly.
Okay.
It's not proceeding rightly. It is not because they couldn't go there, or even the chief justice to say she couldn't go there. For those excuses or other staying away happens because the ambassador of America, they were there present and other things. It's just a form of protestation that the whole world should know that this is not going well.
Okay.
And to the brother that said the lawmaker who stay away will not be elected, I can challenge you. Come 2029, those lawmakers will be re-elected if they stand on the ground of what they are doing.
Okay.
Because this government, there is no way, even if you lie to a woman, when you get wedded to that woman, you say you can turn things around. Always because you told the person previously that your father was having an international airport. So you have to do all you can to provide to that person that you have airport. It's the same with this government.
Thank you.
Lying continuously to the Liberian people, there is nothing you show.
Thank you. So, thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Chaji. Yeah.
Bayoga, welcome.
Yes, sir, Chi. Yeah, long time.
Yeah, my man, you are enjoying the birthday. Say you go on the birthday, you come out here.
Yeah, and tell you when the man, I did go birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but on my way to the grandpa's of Pakistan. Yeah, I ran notice now.
Smell notice. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chi, thank you. I listened to you. I started listening to you for 5 o'clock. I'm going.
Okay.
If you know what I can be a fellow cool. So yeah, let them pray to God. Let
So
God cover, yeah.
like Rebbe
Let
already
God
in the water. It's very hilarious. It's like Rebbe already in the water, so you don't be afraid of cool. Good morning.
In the water for 5 years, for 5 additional
We don't have
years.
much time, so let me get back to the panelists. Let's see how we can conclude. Is 11 minutes past it. Let me squeeze. Let me get back to them. So, let me say welcome back, Lawrence and Marcus. So, yeah. So, Mr. Yene, welcome back. You can just
Yeah.
conclude from your end.
Okay. So
You listen.
I heard the chorus, and one point I want to stress there, because some of them said that the judicial the judiciary is the one that caused the problem. They brought out a verdict that was questionable. It was not interpreted. But then this is the question: since the ruling that came for the Supreme that came from the Supreme Court has problem that it was not interpreted, what the rules of the legislator says when it comes to the removal of speaker. Therein the rule says that you should meet to tear vote before you remove speaker. So was the two-term met before they said that they are removing Funati? Was it done? So that forget about the Supreme Court ruling and come to the rules of the legislature, the House of Representatives. The rule says you should meet to term vote before you remove speaker. They didn't need it. It was not met. So my Liberian people, we just need to come down and compare the president to respect the rule of law. The executive is violating. As for the legislator, they are already in confusion. That we know. So the executive and the judicial branch of government should be independent, the judiciary branch and that of the executive branch. But the executive is now in a cahoot with those lawbreakers. So the president got to recognize the Supreme Court and the president should live according to the rule of law. That's the only way the country can move forward.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. I got no problem with whatever. So now as we all know that bread mixed with butter and honey always they will lie in the annual address. They will always
Okay.
lie. But my concern is why should the Supreme Court stay away? So the president has to come down. It's all about the violation of the law of the land that the president continue to do. Funati Kofa has not been removed yet. Funati still remains as speaker. Rejekun is illegal to be speaker. So even if I were somebody big to be in Liberia, I won't have attended that. So you don't even hold those lawmakers responsible and hold the Supreme Court. Because why
Okay.
will you go sit? Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow. Just you have the time.
Yeah, we will try. That's my first time coming on the show, so
Sure, sure. So hope to see you another time. So Michael.
yeah.
No, it was a good one. Eventually, that's how it goes. I, but I mean, we are talking about the president's state of the nation address, and as I heard, I think Joseph Tamba and a few other people, when the president is speaking, especially the political guys, the young guys who are exuberant, those guys are zealous, those zealots.
Mhm.
When you hear them say to conclusively conclude, I won't
Conclude.
extensively deal with the matter. They you know that man. A lot of things he just hear people saying, he
uh,
wants to say them too because he has to defend. We were in those, some point in time in those shoes before. Most of the things we talk here, we are very conscious of them.
mhm.
As a young man, I was around the corridor of government. I mean, I was privileged to sit in gallery. I was privileged to enter around corridors. I mean, yeah. I mean, so at some point, there are a lot of things that I talk, I understand them from the point of authority by virtue of being in some spaces at some point. So we are not doing guess game on most of the things we say. Some of us most of the time, like bro, Lawrence who just left is out of Liberia. Myself, I'm out of Liberia. We are young people who get decided to say, oh, we ain't coming back to Liberia anytime soon, all the kind of thing. But Liberia, other people call that country Liberia. We call it home. So we don't need to have a passive system that everybody will just agree, nobody will criticize when the things that are being done are actually wrong. There are a lot of things that were said. One of the callers came out, he's blaming the CEO for not saying anything positive. The same way Joseph Tama is blaming me for saying negativity. But point out instances that I said something contradictory that should have been the way it should have been. I mean, come out for rebuttal,
Mhm.
but you are not doing so. You are only, as a person who comes from an informed background, you want to put forth an argument to counter mine, and you are saying nothing, but you are rather coming at me. I know it's a flawed logic, a flawed argument. I know you don't have the capacity to do a report on me. Maybe that's why you grab baby. But that's not the point. The point here is the president's sooner was delivered yesterday. And he said the state of the economy, the state of the nation is in good form. Liberians.
You just listen to Liberians.
People came to rescue. Liberians. These people promised that they understood everything. They were the experienced people. They were the most educated people. They understood governance, the eating pepper, kanya, the kanya pepper. They understood it like the ABC. They were going to follow the rules. They were going to keep senated of governance at a level. But what do we see 1 year later? Somebody was mentioning the progress of the government, 10,000 people. When you mean 10,000 people. One of the things I did IT. I went to Bluecrest, graduated from there. I went Ghana. I went to IPMC from there. I got Cisco certifications. I got a lot of other international IT certifications besides my my media related profession I made. So I understand a lot of things. When somebody talk about telecommunication, the other day I went on what the thing is there. The LTA, the in the telecommunication authority post, we were talking about something about cyber security, all the kind of thing that they made a vague post. I went on there, I laugh, I pass. There are a lot of things when people are saying, some of them are not mainly guessing things. We say things we understand from a point of view. These are 10,000 human beings, and IT you will learn, technology you will learn in 1 week
In
time.
1 week, in 1 week, in
What are
one
you
week.
talking so? Who tell you to put computer on and make you get job? We're in the 21st century. When you hear that, those are basic things that you're supposed to know. I going to school. I'm supposed to know how to put my computer on. I'm supposed to know how to put my smartphone on. I'm supposed to know how to go on Facebook. I'm supposed to know when somebody comes to teach me how to download Facebook and go on Facebook. You know how many people download Facebook by themselves? So, I mean, come to think about it. So, if you want to give people skills, besides that, the guy James, I think one Nazareth and one Jerry Nazareth raised a complete good point. He said people that are teaching the people that they claim that they are training the people themselves, that they are not up to date teachers. And it's a critical thing in this IT revolution, in the information age. The information technology keeps evolving. Now, if you are teaching people things that in that country now, you got to teach something good about cyber. In a way, the basis has to happen before you start to talk about AI, cyber security, and other things. But yet, if you want to put 2 million plus somewhere, where you can take instead of 10,000 people, maybe you take 1,000 people
I'll
and
learn
make
better
them
thing.
solid.
Learn better
But
thing.
don't 1,000 people be able to get a job. They're sprinkling money over 10,000 people that 99.9% of them will not have any job because what they learned is not anything that can give them the credential until maybe the government voluntarily want to hire them, which they will not do anything productive because not that they can do it, but they don't have the capacity to do it because what you give is not enough. What you don't have, you cannot give. I mean, yeah, if I don't understand certain things, I'll not be able to articulate them because if I'm there, that's it. So our
Oh,
people, what we are saying here is that we are talking for everyone. I'm talking for you. Some of you that don't have the ability to express yourself well. Some of you who do, but you do not have the time to call on the show. Some of you who are following but decided get to the. We are talking for all of you. Yeah, the president now will praise the government. We can praise the government too. That what you want for us to do. Or the president said, all right, okay, the thing the president said yesterday, let's look at some of these things. The president is there. Most of the things he said were things that people told him. Most of the things he's unaware. The president flying private jet all around town from
all
local
of the
Monroe and
ministries,
flying private jet
all
to
of
go
the
to
ministries will make report.
birthday party, flying private jet all the way. So he's basically either in the mansion or he's out of the country. He's talking about private jet. The things that people telling him that the things he believes in, he's going to say. I can assure you most of the things the president mentioning, that are things he has an experiential knowledge about to say, oh, he is experiencing these things. The place he is now, until people are honest to him, people who are in the corridors are honest to tell him this is it, this is it. So if they gave him the misinformation, he brings the misinformation, or there are people who must checkmate the misinformation. And that's what we are doing here. We are only saying, Mr. President, you said this thing. The Liberian people deserve better. You can say, oh, things are well, the rate is better, they want is. And in actuality, it is far contradictory to what you are saying. So is it wrong when somebody say, oh, you should have talk good thing? Which are the good things? Okay, we see the good thing we're talking. The good thing now, the president said we raised more money for the country last year than the money we projected in the budget. But hospitals are still crying. People are still protesting that they didn't get a pay. The national budget that is supposed to put up for us to see how much they actually raised, for us to see how much they actually use, they had in the national budget. They only put the president's signature page on the Ministry of Finance website. After you have approved the budget, when the budget is passed into law, 2 weeks later, according to the budget transparency law, you got to put the budget up. The open budget law, you have to put the budget up. for us to be able to see there, to know, oh yeah, this is what the people say, this is what they are doing, to know the reality. But what are we doing? I mean, the budget is
Thank you so
hitting.
much, Mike. I hope to join us tomorrow again.
The
So
budget is
tomorrow, what we're going to do is
hitting.
that
Yeah, so it
tomorrow
was
we're
a
going to do is
pleasure
that
being here
we
this
will,
morning. My
tomorrow
name
we'll
is
analyze the speech, the inaugural speech, and the state of the second state of the nation. So we're going to
yeah, yeah,
checkmate.
yeah. So it was a pleasure being here this morning, and to all our people, my name is Michael Francis Starr, and thank you for having us this morning. Okay, Aji, do have
Okay, you're welcome. So you listen to Marcus, you listen to Mr. Lawrence Yan Yene and the CEO. They all were here. Look, look. Let me tell you something. We we don't want people to always keep doing the same thing over and over and over and again. This country, if it must get better, than somebody, one of the callers said, we need to change in our minds. We need to, we gotta develop the mind. That's the only way Liberia can get what we need. So the president delivered his address yesterday. The concern has been we have three branches of government that equally function. But distinctly, why did the Supreme Court bench, the full bench that supposed to have been the representation of the Supreme Court or the judiciary branch of the Republic of Liberia, being exempted from the program? They refused to attend the program. Why? And somebody sat there and said the Supreme Court recognized uh, the functionality of Rachel Kuhn as Speaker. Why say so? So, folks, tomorrow, join us. We will be here. Before we go, we have a few text messages that we will read them. But tomorrow, we will also outline or underline few part of the inaugural address to ask you what the president said, because the president outlined achievements in his speech. So we will underscore these things and bring them to you tomorrow on the Wednesday edition of the program. So we take this as we conclude. And so we just have a text message. This one says, "Good morning. My name is Joseph and Gawe, Junior from Palm Bush Rehab Community. Thank you for the program, big brother. The president was the cause of the Chief Justice and other lawmakers was not part of the nation's address. Reason being the lawmakers in fight with each other, the Chief Justice trying to put things in place. So you, president, can show them no respect. You can only tell the man to drop what in his hand, but not what in his heart." Thank you so much, Joseph, for always following the show there in Palm Bush community. So to all of you who listened, all of you who called and participated, we also want to say thank you. Thanks to the management and staff of the station for being supportive. Thanks to the manager, the CEO, for also allotting us the opportunity that we serve the public through this media. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow, Wednesday, for the May Week edition of the program, Wake Up Call. My name is Archie C. Bob Yene. Until then, remain blessed. Don't trouble before trouble troubles. Have a wonderful and blessed day ahead of you.